Sedalia, Missouri and black helicopters, okay? We know they're out there. We just don't sometimes know how far they're out there. Okay? Alright. My story of a black helicopter is several years old. We lived at the downtown house. And, I had met this buddy at a 12-step meeting. And he was happy Indian. I'm going to say happy Indian because I've shared this story before. So those of you who have heard it already know. Oh well, I might as well. He was half Sioux. But anyhow, we got to hanging around. And I basically had gotten acquainted with him because I needed some work done at the house. It took me 4 months after the incident in 95 when John was sentenced to start back to any 12-step because, for one thing, I had to get my driver's license. And I wasn't in a real big hurry about it, except to go see him. And he had been moved down to Dallas County. So anyhow, made acquaintances with this guy. He was an Army vet. And this story's going to lead to another story, but one story at a time. And his dad was an Air Force vet, career Air Force actually. And sometimes he'd bring beer over. Well, I didn't drink, and he did, but we were sitting out on my porch one day, and John and I had put lattice all the way around to kind of, so when we were out there, we didn't feel like we were in a fishbowl. Everybody looking at us, because that was a pretty busy street. And we could sit behind there, and we knew that if anybody was going to have to look at us, they were going to have to really put effort into it. Especially if they're just cruising by. Excuse me. I think that's 3 videos today that I've coughed in. And I was sitting over to the south side of the porch where there was a glider, and he had taken a chair there to my left. And I kind of had one leg up on the glider and just kind of gliding back and forth, enjoying the day. And I looked up, and so we had these power lines real close to the house, because right beside our house, it was real close to the alley, like less than a yard from the outside of our house, the alley began. 3 feet or less. And right there at the entrance of the alley were 2 power lines with an electrical box up at the top of one. Of course, the same thing across the road with another electrical box. And so these wires, were right there beside the house. Okay. Well, I could see up from underneath the eave of the porch. The overhang. And he couldn't where he was sitting. So I was more underneath and could look up. And I look at him and I said, "There's a black helicopter hovering right here above these wires." And he looks over at me and he says, "Nuh-uh." And I look back up, and I swear to God I was looking right at the face of the pilot. He was looking right at me. I kind of sometimes, now I wonder if he happened to know that guy or something and just had him buzz over to F with me, knowing we'd be out on the porch or something. But he never did believe me, and then it just blew up. And then later, I was driving somewhere to get Brad or something, and I was headed south on Ingram. I was at the intersection there, Ingram and 16th, and I was fixing to turn right to go west. And from over behind me somewhere, it had to be from there, zipped a black helicopter and headed off as I turned the corner to the west. Zipped right out of sight, too. So that's my black helicopter story. Both of them. Don't let me forget what this led into. I think I already did. Oh well, I'll find out.